ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मा पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। Salutations to all. So we have entered the Upanishad. The first mantra is what we had seen, just the basic meaning. So we will chant that first mantra once again and then go into the deeper meaning here. Harihi Om. Om iti etadaksharamidagam sarvam tasyopavyakhyanam bhutam bhavadbhavishyaditi sarvam onkara eva यच्चान्यत् त्रिकालातीतं तदपि ओंकार eva. So before we go into the meaning here, we were seeing last time how Gurudev gives the context that there is a student who has gone to the teacher, and that student has lived very intelligently, seen through the limitations of the finite temporary life, the existence, and has gone to the teacher with that attitude to know the substratum, to know the cause, the one changeless truth behind this changing world. So I'm going to continue from there where we had seen Gurudev's commentary. This second part of this, the right side. Thus, a typical student almost always reached the master's feet, having lived full and well, intelligently and sincerely, with a heart that is soaked with the appetite to live vitally and fully. See, both Gurudev has mentioned intelligently, meaning he is very uh, logical in the thought process, and also heart is full, soaked with appetite to live vitally and fully, meaning he is a well balanced, developed person with the head and heart integrated. Such a seeker is not a, you know, either a depressed person at heart or very confused in the intellect. A student who has integrated the mind and intellect and has lived fully, has sincerely seen through the limitations of the worldly life, and such a student has gone to the teacher with an eagerness to know. See that he comes to ask the master to this effect. This is context built by Gurudev. It's not there in the Upanishad directly, but we have to understand the background, then we know the answer. Is there not, O Master, a great mission in life than eating and drinking, growing and dying, earning and spending, planning and willing, hoping and losing? Is life only a continuous story of disappointments? Is it a pilgrimage from the womb to the tomb, jogging along the ruts of sorrows and smiles? Is there no liberation possible out of the soul-killing sense of finitude? See, this one has experienced. He has gone through ups and downs of life and understood that no matter what we achieve, we will still feel bound, limited. Especially you see in that waking state. That sense of limitation is there, individuality is there, and then there is a sense of limitation by our own thoughts, emotions, sense of ego, and no matter what one achieves, that remains. That's why he says this soul killing sense of finitude. I don't think of soul killing there as, Atma ko maar diya. Not like that. It is like suffocating. Na? Somebody who is suffocating wants a fresh breath. It is like that. Somebody who feels that what is this limited existence? And that's why I think liberation possible out of the soul killing sense of finitude. And from the burning cauldron of death and destruction. Continuous change is what is seen in the world. Seen. So the student is not a pessimist, not a loser, not somebody who has not achieved anything and then got taken to spirituality. It is not like that. A student has lived fully, understood, and then wants a greater possibility. So he says, is there a greater world of ampler possibilities, a nobler field of unbroken peace and joy, and enduring living through nobler achievements? It is to such a disciple that the master, in the maturity of the mutual understanding gained in a few years, on one afternoon calls to his side and starts expounding the great Upanishad. Meaning the student is that eligible, master is well established in the truth, has studied the scripture, and so these 12 mantras of the Upanishad, they are a conversation, as though there is no disciple asking questions, the teacher replying, that type of a conversation we don't see, like how we see in, let us say, Kathopanishad, conversation between Yamaraj and Nachiketa it is. It is not like that here, but that Gurudev has built the background. And then we come to the second para here. The first two words in the mantra serve as a prayer on the part of the master. Om iti. When he is saying that, that Om itself is the invocation. Otherwise, sometimes there is a separate invocation. Here he says the first two words in the mantra serve as a prayer. Each day invoking the Lord's grace, the student also repeats the prayer that he may be blessed with the correct knowledge of the texts and that he may successfully complete a fruitful study of the Vedas. Now we go into the mantra proper. So, what does the mantra actually say? When it is saying here, Om iti etad aksharam idagam sarvam. Idagam, or it means idam, is Vedic mantra. So, idagam is written there. Om is all this. Idam means this. So in Vedanta we divide anything that can be objectified is called as this. So we say this bottle, this computer, this plug, this table, and this also signifies near, that signifies far. So in this context, when we say this, it means other than I. So what all can we say as this? Not only the objects, we can also say this body, this prana, this mind, this intellect, this ego. So why can't we say this I also? To say this I, there has to be another I then. Because the subject has to see the object. There has to be one aham which sees idam. If you say this, why can't you say this aham also as idam? Why can't you say this I also? This atma also? Word wise we can say, but concept wise we cannot say. Because there has to be a different subject. When I am seeing the bottle, I am different, bottle is different. So I can say, I am seeing this bottle. I am seeing this computer. I am seeing this body, we can say. I am aware of the thoughts in my mind, we can say. So the thoughts are this. So this mind, this prana, this intellect. But we can't say this I. Because that I only is the subject. That subject itself can't become the object. They have to be a different. Subject has to be different, object has to be different. So everything else except I, aham, can be objectified, and that is called as this. Om iti etadaksharam idagam sarvam. Sarvam means all. If somebody doesn't understand idam properly, the mantra is added sarvam also. Otherwise, idam itself means sarvam in that sense. That all which is objectifiable is this entire world of effect, idagam sarvam. And it said it is Om. So when we say it is all this is Om, one wonders what is it? How can all this be Om? This is table, this is chair, this is book, this is computer. How is all Om? So that is where we have to understand here in the commentary what Shankaracharya ji said. Gurudev has quoted that one part here. Sri Shankaracharya in his introductory remarks says, though the name Nama and the object signified by the name Nami are one and the same. So name here is Om and the named here is this world, all the objects. The name and the object signified by the name are one. What does that mean? So if I say apple, now there are three things. This I had said earlier in one satsang also, but again we will repeat this. Suppose we say apple. Let us say this only, simple bottle. So this is a bottle. Now this bottle is in my hand. But through the senses, this bottle is perceived as being outside this body. So this is the bottle which is out here. The word bottle is the name. This is the named. Now what it is saying, name and the named are the same. What does it mean? Name and the named are the same. Apart from this bottle, the word bottle has no other meaning, no other existence of its own. This which exists is being indicated by the word bottle. So the name is indicating this form, and both these are rising in my mind. The word bottle and the form of bottle, they both are one and experienced in my mind. So it is not out here. Because of the senses, I am thinking there's a different body and the senses. I am thinking this internal is here, external is there. That's a illusion. This whole body with this entire world, this object, is all experienced in my mind only. This inside outside division is only from body standpoint, and it's very superficial. There is no division actually. So the whole thing is experienced in my mind. So when we say bottle, the name bottle and the form bottle are one. Because apart from that form, that name is nothing. What we saw earlier in the introduction also, Vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam, mrittika ityeva satyam. This pot and cup and pitcher and saucer and all this is only to distinguish the name, to distinguish the functionality. That's all. So when we say, okay, this is a metal bottle and this is a plastic bottle, both are bottle. But both are actually what? The word bottle we may use and indicate. And without that word bottle, we may not recognize this form. But the word bottle doesn't have its own independent entity without this. There is nothing called bottle if this is not there. So the word is only indicating the form. And to distinguish, one is a plastic bottle, one is a metal bottle. So we say cup and pitcher and saucer and all that. Actually, it is only clay. Clay in one form you are calling cup, clay in another form you are calling as pitcher. It is clay. Same way, these both are five elements if we see in that, in the gross sense, if we see. Now, what is this saying here? Om is all this. So we have to understand two aspects here. One, when we say all this, this is the effect. The Srishti is this effect. And how Gurudev would always say that the cause itself appears as the effect in another form. The effect and cause are not different. Mud and the cup, mud cup, they are not different. Mud and the pot, not different. Mud in another form is the pot. Same way, the Supreme Infinite in another form is this whole Srishti. The cause is infinite, appearing in this whole universe in so many innumerable names and forms, is one cause. Is one ocean appearing as hundreds and thousands of waves in the ocean. When we say ocean is the cause, wave is the effect, actually it is ocean appearing as the wave. There is no difference. We are distinguishing as cause and effect, ocean and wave. In that same way, there is one truth appearing as all this. And that truth has been indicated as Omkar. Why it is indicated as Omkar is very interesting now. This whole world, which we see as tangible form, created world, karya, effect, tangible form, this tangible form will not be recognized without name, like we say bottle. So though the bottle is there, if the word bottle is not known, one will not recognize this is the bottle. So though the word is by itself meaning nothing unless the bottle is there, But without that word, that bottle won't be recognized. So Nama and Rupa both are important. Now in this context, we will take the understanding of what Shankaracharya said, the named and the name. They both are one. This word bottle and the bottle can't be without each other, can't be known without each other. So they are one in that sense. Now all the things in the world, all the forms are known through the name. What is the name? All the names, we may say bottle and book and iPad and computer, all these names are words. Words are alphabets. Alphabets are what we call as akshara. And this akshara, the word akshara also is very beautiful. Literally, it means imperishable. And see the beauty of this. The sounds that we make, they cannot perish. Obviously, they cannot perish, they are not eternal like Atma. But in the Srishti, as long as Srishti is there, every single word that is spoken will be there in space. If you read Kanchi Mahaperiyava's book, The Vedas, very brilliantly he explains that every single word that we have uttered, every single letter that we have pronounced, it has left from our mouth, its a vibration has been created, and it will be there forever in space. Till the Srishti goes into Pralaya, it is always there. And it's a vibration. The whole creation also is a vibration. All this is what science is also saying, this bottle and this computer, what is all that? It is vibration, it is energy in motion. So all forms are energy in motion, indicated using words which are also energy in motion. So from that standpoint also the name and the form are same. It's all energy. One is subtle energy, other is gross energy, but it is energy only. Sound is subtler, form is grosser. It is a grosser manifestation of the sound is the form. So from energy level also all the objects and the word are one. And so all the objects are known through words. Words are made up of alphabets. And all these alphabets are nothing but modification of a. Akaro vai sarva vak. And you know, akara is the only alphabet which you can, the sound which you can make without using the lips. Every other sound, lip has to come into play. Is the only thing you can make without movement of the lips. A, E, U, A, I, O, Au, Aha. You know, some also you are saying you can do that even without. Because it will come from here. Full when we have to actually say, then you open the mouth and say to distinguish it from you say e, then we are opening the mouth. But otherwise, that is actually the primal form of akara. No movement of the lips. That is all modification is of that So actually is enough to indicate Brahman. Then why? But you can't keep saying and also to indicate Omkar is made up of three alphabets. U, U and right? So indicates the beginning. U indicates all modification. Indicates pralay. Creation, sustenance, destruction is indicated by U, And is what we say pervades all the other alphabets that we had seen last time also. That in Sanskrit, the consonant doesn't stand on its own, it needs a vowel. And all vowels are modifications of akara in different forms, different ways. So, akara pervades everything. And that akara comes from the base here, then ukara here, makara here. So, it also om signifies the whole range of sound from here to here, the entire vocal range, meaning all sounds are covered by om. That's why om is the single syllable indicating the absolute truth. When we say om iti etad aksharam idam sarvam, or when we say here that omkara is the primordial sound. It is a sound which is called anahad nad. It is produced without friction. It is from Puranic language. In Puranic language, we say omkar is the om and atha are the first sounds that manifest in the universe. Brahmaji, from Brahmaji, it comes a Puranic explanation of that. So omkar as a u ma indicates all sound possibilities. Omkar is indicating that akshara tattva. When we say omiti ekaksharam brahma, ekakshara brahma it is. No, Swamiji, just now you said u ma, three aksharas, now you're saying ekaksharam brahman. What is this? That ekakshara brahma it is, because it's u ma, all this is a modification of only. And also it is indicating Brahman, which is one. The substratum of all sound is that akshara Brahma. And so the word akshara is so powerful when it is saying in this mantra, Om iti etad akshara idagam sarvam. Akshara indicates one meaning I told you is the sound itself is imperishable. As long as creation is there, whatever you and I have spoken is there in space. And very amazing, he said, Kanchi Mahaperyava, he says that if you want to access what Krishna Bhagavan told Arjun, it is there in space. If you have the technology, you can access it. Maybe in future that will come, who knows? Because the sound has been produced, it is Akshara, it will remain in space till the Srishti lasts. So as sound itself, it is those alphabets are imperishable. Once you create that sound, it is there. But what it is indicating is that absolute consciousness. Akshara means imperishable truth. Silence is that akshara, imperishable truth. From silence, sound rises, in silence, sound stays, into silence, sound goes back as though. That indicative silence, that is akshara, imperishable, which is indicating consciousness. So Om is it's a shortest word indicating Brahman, Ekaksharam Brahman, and it is that which is also indicating the Srishti. This whole universe, when he says Om iti etadaksharam idagam sarvam, all this is Om, because it's all modification of Akara as sound. And this Akara only will pervade everything. So through this, and this Om iti etadaksharagam aksharam idagam sarvam, all this which is Omkar, when we understand also in both ways, as the created world, this whole thing is effect. So as we saw, all the objects known through names are nothing but alphabets, the words are nothing but alphabets, and those alphabets are all modifications of Akara, and that Akara pervades all words. And as vibration also, everything which is created is a vibration, including this, what we say, the sound, and that grossified elements and the things also, they all are vibrations. So through vibrations also, Omkara is all this. Through the name also, Omkara is all this. And as consciousness also, Omkar indicates infinite consciousness, Aksharam. And that infinite consciousness only, which is the ultimate cause, is appearing as this whole creation. So we say Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. The ocean only is appearing as the wave. So in all three ways, Omkara is all this. Again, I am repeating. One is the vibration, sound vibration, alphabet. Two, all the names and the forms are nothing but that same vibration in a grossified way. And three, beyond the name and beyond the form vibration, beyond the sound and beyond the form vibration, the substratum which is appearing as this, like the ocean is appearing as the wave, that substratum is consciousness. That is also indicated by Omkar only. And just like the cause pervades the entire effect, in that same way, this Omkar is that consciousness which is pervading this whole Srishti, which is appearing as this whole Srishti. So Om iti etad aksharam idagam sarvam. This is one meaning. This is why he says, Shankaracharya ji has given elaborately in his commentary how the name and the named are one. And that is what Gurudev has also mentioned here. So we will come back to this commentary here where he says this. Sri Shankaracharya in his introductory remarks says, though the name and the object signified by the name, Nami, Nama and Nami are one and the same, the explanation has been given here by giving prominence to the name. So though the name and the named, Nam and Nami are one, through the name which is Omkar, the Nami is indicated now. That is what the whole Upanishad is all about, that how does Omkar signify all this. So the Akara represents what, Ukara represents what, Makara represents what, that will be explained. That comes as further explanation. In this Upanishad, we have first of all a treatment of the very syllables of the sound, Om, which is what we just said in short. So which is the sound, as a sound, how does Omkar represent all this? And then the significance, and then the significance of the syllables, the explanation of these parts will follow. For the time being, the master is trying to explain the entire problem of the student in one simple expression, direct and poignant, as Om, the word, is all this. So as we saw earlier, the Uttamadhikari will know the truth immediately. As soon as it is indicated, they will realize the truth. And the second mantra will actually indicate that Omkar as the Atma. So the Uttamadhikari will know. That's the method of the Upanishad. It will give the Siddhanta, the principle, the subtlest knowledge first. Then it will elaborate that same thing in detail. So that if somebody has not got it, they will understand more details. Now, the student's question was as to whether there was in fact any fundamental single truth behind the evanescent plurality cognized by the experience around and about us. That was the question of the student, that what is that one truth behind this changing world? Now, Guru is trying to provide the student with the fundamental truth behind all the plurality and says that there is one lordly factor, one overruling principle, a spiritual common denominator for all the plurality that is cognized by us in the outer world. Now, please remember this always. When people say that Hindus are not, our religion is not a monotheistic religion, it is a polytheistic religion, that is the confusion that people have. We are also monotheistic only. In fact, we are beyond also, because we don't think about this form, one form. So people think that we are polytheistic. No. We are seeking that one substratum behind this whole plurality. That is what one is wanting to know. And that also one in Advaita Vedanta we are saying that one truth is you in your true nature. You are not this BMI. Just because forms are many doesn't mean we are polytheistic religion. The forms are many because of temperaments, but the source is one only. And which is why it is saying Om iti etad aksharam idagam sarvam. All this is Om. In one shot, the entire plurality is dismissed as one source is there for all, and that is you. That will come next, that is you. But what is it that the student has gone to the teacher asking? One truth. And the teacher is also replying that one truth is Omkar. In this Upanishad is indicated through the word Om. Elsewhere it will be through Shiva, through Vishnu, through any other form. And that one has to transcend that, one will realize there is only one truth. And so one should not confuse. One should know that we are also seeking one absolute truth. And so Gurudev gives the example of the mud and the pot, that millions of mud pots are all in a sense nothing but mud. So too there is eternal divine factor out of which the pluralistic world has risen. In fact, it is very interesting if you go by this. Traditional science, if you go by it, they will say the world has risen from 5 elements, not one source. Vedanta is saying it is one source which is using Maya and appearing as, then the 5 elements appear. So, all this whole creation is nothing but that one cause in so many forms, like so many pots and pitchers and cups and saucer. All that is nothing but mud. That one common source is indicated here as Omkar. And so Gurudev has given this example of the pots. The pots have been born from mud, are sustained in mud, again must after the destruction go back to mud. So too the pluralistic world of phenomena has no other substance for their sustenance than the truth. In truth they exist, and to truth they return when they are withdrawn from their state of manifestation. That fundamental truth, the ultimate, eternal, all-pervading, conscious principle is pointed out to the student as Om. Why not any other word? Because as we said, Om in its 3 components, uma, indicates all sound possibilities, and the whole creation is nothing but only sound vibration. It's actually vibration. We are saying sound vibration, same actually it is. And Om is that indicating all the sounds. A, U, Ma. How? One meaning we saw is from the base A, then U, then Ma. Full range of vocal, the vocal cords as well as the sound mechanism. That is one way to understand. Second way to understand is A is the first alphabet. In vowels, we start with A. And in consonants, in the class consonants, we end with Ma. Ka varga, cha varga, ta varga, ta varga, and pa varga, meaning class. Ka, kha, ga, gha, ang, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, ta, tha, da, dha, ta, tha, da, dha, na, ta, tha, da, dha, na, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. Ka, cha, ta, ta, pa. These are 5 class consonants. In that, ma is the last. Pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. All the others, ya, ra, la, va, kshatra, gnya, sha, sha, sa, ha, they are sibilants, aspirate, all those. Modifications of these only. So between A and Ma, again, as alphabets also, all sound possibilities are covered. No, no, Swamiji, why are you excluding others? We please add others also. You know, if you add others, brilliant, you will get what? A to her, right? Because we say kshatragnya, sha, the sa, sha, sha, and her. Kshatragnya, actually in Hindi they will say. In Sanskrit we don't have kshatragnya because they are not only 3 conjunct consonants. In Sanskrit there are so many conjunct consonants which are there. So anyway it will end with ha. So pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. Then ya, ra, la, va, Sa, Sha, Shra, Ha. That's it. In Sanskrit, it will end with Ha. The Kshatragna won't come in this. Alphabets, vowels and consonants, Kshatragna will not come. That comes in Hindi, people add. But in Sanskrit, it will be Ha. You start with A, end with Ha. And that's why in Vedant, the word Aham is so powerful. Why? Because that Aham indicates all this. The whole Srishti is this real I. So powerful, huh? That word Aham is. Because between A and Ha, all sounds are covered and all things in the world are nothing but names. Names are alphabets. Alphabets are between A and Ha. And that is called Akshara. This is Aksharamala, na? This is A to Ha. So even the word aha is aham is I. The real I alone is all this. How beautiful, na? If you add all the other alphabets also, it will indicate the same truth only. And Akhandanandji Maharaj gives such a nice, he gives 3 explanations of this word aham. Little digression this is, but I'm just going to share because it's very, very fascinating that how this, when we say aham, it is not only aham as I, the small individual. It is really aham as the big I, the Atma, and that same aham is the whole world. So when the second mantra will say I am Atma Brahma, even through alphabets you can understand that I am Atma is Brahma only. This is the Atma, and that Atma is aham, and that aham even as alphabets includes all this, her to her, everything. So there is no difference between this and that. Idam and aham, there is no difference. They both are actually one. This aham only appearing as all this idam. So Akhandanandji gives such a nice meaning. So he gives 3 meanings of this aha. First he says that na hanyate iti aham. Such a lovely etymology it is. Aham. Na hanyate. It is indestructible. Aham indicates consciousness which is indestructible. Sounds arise and stay and fall in that indestructible consciousness, which we saw earlier as silence. So, na hanyate iti aham, meaning it is imperishable, indestructible, changeless, absolute truth. And that one absolute truth appears as this whole changing world. How? That is the power of Maya. Changeless appears as changing, infinite appears as finite. So, one meaning is this. Second meaning he says, na jahati, which cannot be negated. You can negate everything, you cannot negate aham. How brilliant it is. In the deep sleep, the entire world is gone. Samadhi, the world is gone. Under chloroform, world is gone. Negate, it is not there. For the experiencer, it is not there. But the one who is I, this I you cannot negate. Aham can't be negated at all. We can never feel our absence. How brilliant is that? Absence of BMI we can feel, but the entity who is knowing the absence of BMI is I. That can't be negated. Na jahati, which you cannot drop it. In devotion language, Gurudev would say that the world, how much ever you hold on to it, will not stay with you. And God, how much ever you want to abandon, cannot leave you. So, na jahati iti aham. That which cannot be dropped, cannot be negated, is aham. And na hiyate, which will never perish. Na jahati means you cannot negate it, you cannot falsify it, it will always be there. And na hiyate, it doesn't get destroyed because it is the main cause. You cannot destroy the mud in the limited example, but pot you can destroy. form you can change. So from pot you can make it to cup, you can make it to pitcher, you can make it to saucer, all that you can do. Form can keep on changing, but mud you cannot destroy. In that same way, the Srishti can keep on changing absolutely, but this will not, na hiyate. And so this aham also indicates, even between a and ha, all the words which are alphabets which are there, this aham indicates one truth. Coming back to om, between a and ma also all sounds which are there, they indicate that imperishable truth. And so when he says, when the Upanishad mantra says, Om iti etad akshara idagam sarvam. Om is that akshara, imperishable. Akshara word may, there one should take both the meanings. Alphabet also, as alphabet also, Om pervades all this. All this is actually gross manifestation of Omkar. Om is the subtlest sound, which is why, and that's why it is called Anhadanad. It is produced without friction. All other sounds are produced with friction. Swamiji, just now you said Omkar also, O is here, U is here, Ma is here. That is because you and I need that explanation to understand that Om, when we say, is from here, here and here. From these three are being used to say Om. When we actually say Om, verbally when we say, there this is being used. But Om is not produced, or Om is not there because you and I are saying it. Om is there as the source, as consciousness, as a sound. It is the primordial sound. Swamiji Brahmaji, when he has said also, he would have used no Om. So his lip, what is that? His vocal range he has used, no? No. Om is a revelation to Brahmaji. That's why it's primordial sound. If you do rituals, there you will see when mantra is being chanted, Vedic mantra especially, they have to say who is the Rishi, who is that, what is the Chandas, who is the Devata. And those who do Sandhya Vandan, they will say Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. So, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, then Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yona Prachodayat. If you do Gayatri Havan, this will be split in three. Even in Sandhya Vandan one will do, but even in Gayatri Havan specifically. Om as a separate mantra, Bhur Bhuva Swaha as separate Vyahritis, and then Gayatri, Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat as separate, three different parts. For each there will be Rishi Devata Chanda. So in that we say Omkarasya Brahma Rishihi Gayatri Chandaha Paramatma Devata. It's a revelation. It's not that Brahmaji said Om. It's a revelation to Brahmaji, and it just is the sound which is there, Om and Atha. Now the point is this, that as Akshara, as the alpha, as the sound, it is the primordial sound, which is what appears as all this in grossified form. So Om iti etad aksharam idagam sarvam. Akshara, as we said, is alphabet, and Akshara also indicates the consciousness. This is what Gurudev said, the word indicates that state. So as sound, as form, and as consciousness, Om is all this. Now don't start imagining that, Acha, I have to look at all this, this is Om, this is Om, this is Om, this is Om. Then I will go mad, I will see only Om, Om, Om everywhere, I won't see forms. It's understanding that there is one consciousness. Om indicates consciousness. That only one consciousness pervades this whole creation. And the next mantra will say that consciousness is you. So the idea is to shift the vision. Don't get confused saying now everything I have to see only as Om, Om. So form of Om everywhere I have to see. It's not like that. And Om iti etad aksharam idagam sarvam. Now continuing where we left in Gurudev's commentary. When this much is said by the master, first line, Om iti etad aksharam idagam sarvam. All this is Om. Now we understand what it means. The raw novelty of this staggering truth surprises the student. And it is but human that the disciple looks at the master with a big question mark written large all over his face. Seeing this unsaid question expressed in the look of the student, the master hastens to answer him sympathetically and says, "A clear explanation of it I shall tell you in the following." That's the next word in the mantra. Tasya upavyakhyanam. Tasya upavyakhyanam. Vyakhyan itself, we saw earlier what it means. Upavyakhyanam. Upa plus V plus A plus khyanam. Meaning to say something very clearly, precisely, explicitly, without leaving any doubt. That is upavyakhyanam. So, tasya upavyakhyanam, meaning he is going to elaborate. The mantra itself is saying that. The Upanishad Rishi, as though, is saying that tasya upavyakhyanam, this is what I will explain. So don't worry. This is the sutra. This Om iti etad aksharam vidagam sarvam is like the sutra. Sutra means like the aphorism. The full Mandukya Upanishad is in this one sutram. And this one sutra is explanation of the whole Mandukya is the explanation of this one sutra. So if somebody understood this, they got it. The job is done. If they didn't get, then okay, tasya upavyakhyanam. Now, what is that elaboration? So he says, again, the primary statement may be misconstrued by the student as meaning only all that is in the ashram, veranda, or in the Himalayan valley. Because to the disciple, the Guru and his ashram, the Ganga banks and the Himalayan valley are all sacred. And so to consider them all as Om is not very difficult. Okay, all this is divine, all this is sacred. Very good. But when that mantra is saying Sarvam, Idagam Sarvam, all this, meaning the whole creation. Now see that. In order to remove this misunderstanding from the mind of the student, the master proceeds to explain the fuller significance of the term all this. And what is that? He explains all this not just as, so when Sarvam word is used, it indicates all the objects, desha, vastu, all the objects. But if somebody misunderstands it saying only these things which the master is showing, then using time it is explained now. Bhutam bhavishyat, bhutam bhavat bhavishyat. So he says, again Gurudev's commentary, he says all that is past, present and future is verily Om. All that was, that is and that shall be, meaning the entire world of objects cognized by our forefathers, by ourselves and by our children, the entire world has but one substratum which is unchanging in all the three periods of time, and it is represented by the symbol and name Om. Meaning what? Yesterday, today, tomorrow, the substratum will not change. No, Swamiji, in Satyuga, you know that consciousness is very, very pure consciousness, you know. Then it becomes little muddy, impure. In Treta Yuga. Then Dwapar Yuga, more impure. Kali Yuga, we are Bhrashta, Swamiji, gone. Where will we get Uddhar? Nothing. That you are talking about Jivatma or the individual, the mind becoming impure. We are not talking about that. This is the substratum of the whole creation. That is changeless. Bhutam bhavat bhavishyat, all Omkar only. Means all is one consciousness only. How much ever change can happen. No, Swamiji, future will be AI consciousness. In Satyuga there was no AI, in Kali Yuga there is AI. So now AI will be the consciousness. Are nothing. AI is also superimposition, it is changing realm only. Substratum is consciousness. It was, it is, it will always be consciousness. Yesterday's dream, you are the substratum. Today's dream also, you are the substratum. Tomorrow when you dream also, you will only be the substratum. A limited example, but that's the truth. The waker, you, Yesterday also you dreamt. Today also you are dreaming. Some may be dreaming right now also in the class. Tomorrow also when you dream, that you is same only. Your dream may change. Yesterday you had a very lovely, peaceful dream. You thought you got enlightened in that dream also. Today you have very disturbed dream. Oh Bapre, I have to finish this, I have to go there, I have to do this. I have got up with that king. Array, so much work is pending. And tomorrow's dream, something else will come tomorrow in that dream. But you who are the substratum is the same only. Dream quality can be anything. How does it matter? Srishti can be Satyug, Tretayug, Dwaparyug, Kalyug, whatever it is, that changing realm it is, let it be. So, Bhutam Bhavat Bhavishyat Sarvam Omkara Eva. Meaning what? The student wanted that one consciousness answer, na, ki what is the substratum of the whole Srishti? If that substratum also changes, think about it. Yesterday's consciousness is different. Today's consciousness is different. Tomorrow's consciousness is different. Then how is it changeless? Then that is a part of the changing world only. So it can't be. And so he says, Bhutam Bhavat Bhavishyad Sarvam Omkara Eva. There's only one consciousness which was, which is, which will be. What are the implications of this? So, what, let us say, the Vedic rishis taught. So, what Nachiketa experienced, that same self you and I will experience. What Vashishta Rishi taught Bhagwan Ram about the Atma, that same Atma you and I will realize. That's our nature is only that. Everything else is illusory, it comes and goes. And that is not what one is seeking. That anyway one has played with it, one understood that this is all Maya, this is all Mithya, it is finite and it is not giving real, there is no sense of fulfillment. So one is anyway not running behind it. That much Vairagya one has. So when the teacher says what was, what is, what will be, there is no moha only. You know, one thing why we don't turn within and seek this infinite consciousness, because we always think the mind always plays a trick. Till today I didn't find it, but I'm sure tomorrow I will find. When I become that, when I go there, when I enjoy this, then I think I will get fulfillment. So our mind always thinks like that. Okay, there is, see, pleasure wise, there can be different ranges in pleasure and all kinds of power and position. And today you don't have power, tomorrow you have power. Today you enjoy very little, tomorrow you have enjoyed some 7 course meal and in some 7-star hotel. It's all in the changing realm. But the mind plays the trick there, saying how can you fully dismiss that the whole world has no fulfillment? Maybe till now what I did, it doesn't have fulfillment. But maybe there, maybe this, maybe that. That's why Vivek is very important. Vivek and Vairagya, when it is there, then one understands very clearly that no matter what you achieve, the sense of infinitude will always remain. And when deep sleep, there is no sense of finitude. Samadhi, no sense of finitude. That is when we are most blissful. And that is changeless truth. So, a person who understands this will have Vairagya and will grasp this very clearly. That Bhutam Bhavat Bhavishyat Sarvam Omkara Eva. There is only one consciousness appearing as all this. So why am I running behind appearances? Why am I not going to the source? Who is real? Waker is real or the dream is real? Why am I running in the dream? Why don't I wake up and realize the source from where all this has come? Swamiji, dream is so nice, so enjoyable. I wake up, then everything is gone. That's the limitation of example. Here the source is what we seek. In the dream, I'm running behind things, people, situations for what? To be happy. And this source is of the nature of happiness, Paramananda. Because it's infinite. So one has to come to the source. And that source is the same. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, it will always be the one and the same source. So no, you won't miss out anything. In fact, that whole sense that I'm missing out something, this fear of missing out, FOMO and all that, is all in the realm of mind and the changing realm only. So if one has understood this, contemplating deeply, then there's nothing to miss out. In fact, there's only joy. Great joy, saying I'm leaving the illusions and going to the source. I'm not missing out anything. Those who are not aware of this are actually missing out. So if somebody has renounced the world, he's not missing anything. People think, अरे बिचारा सब कुछ छोड़ दिया. अरे, who has to think बिचारा for whom? Think about it. The sadhak is thinking, अरे ये बेचारे लोग कहाँ भाग रहे हैं illusion के पीछे. The Sadguru is sitting and thinking that, okay, what is this? Look at the samsara. Why did Gurudev come down? Because he understood ki how we are running behind illusions and getting dejected, disappointed, completely bashed up in the world and not knowing where is happiness. The sadhak has no regret at all. Sadhak is very blissful. What have I dropped? Nothing. Illusions I have dropped to get the truth. And people are happy with illusions, ignoring the truth. They are happy to get bashed up in the illusion and go through ups and downs and sorrow and tragedy and this and that. What the student said in the beginning, womb to tomb and dejection, disappointment, all that. They are happy to hold on to that, but not seek the truth. Because that is the power of Maya, that is the power of extrovertedness. Punya karma is not enough, satsang is not done. So many reasons. So the student who has understood this, the teacher is saying this very clearly, that our forefathers, all that was, that is, and that shall be, meaning the entire world of objects cognized by our forefathers, by ourselves, by our children, the entire world has but one substratum, which is unchanging in all the three periods of time. And it is represented by the symbol and the name Om. Now, here also it may be possible that the student may fall into another misunderstanding, that the world conditioned by time alone has Om as its substratum, and that it is not the ground for the world of experiences that are beyond the concept of time, space and causality. Thus, the master clearly emphasizes here that Om is a substratum for all that is limited in time and also for all that not conditioned by it, meaning that which is even beyond the triple concept of time. Which is why he says, Yaccha api trikala titam. Yaccha anyat trikala titam. That's the last part of this mantra. Tadapi omkara eva. So he says the concept of time is a trick of the mind. Where there is no mind, this concept of time also does not function. This you think about. The connection between time and the mind, you think. Then we will take this up in the next class. What is time? That is your homework. Think about it. What is time? And what connection does this time and mind have? So the last line of this mantra we will take up in our next class and then we will proceed ahead. For today we will stop here. Yes, Anjali.
Swamiji, you mentioned the three points by Akhandanandji. What would be the difference between na hanyate and na hiyate?
So na hanyate means it cannot be destroyed by anyone or anything. And na hiyate, meaning one cannot, as oneself, you cannot drop it. Why you cannot ignore it, or what is the word for it? It cannot be reduced, it cannot be ignored by you. Na hiyate. Na hanyate is like how we say in the Gita, we say Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayanti apo, na shoshayati maruta. So the weapons can't cleave it, fire can't burn it, wind cannot dry it, water cannot wet it. That is na hanyate. Meaning another source of destruction cannot destroy it. One is external destruction. Other is that that thing by itself can disintegrate, deteriorate, and what you call internally get destroyed. Na hiyate is that internal destruction also is not possible. It is one truth which is not negatable, not destructible, not changeable through any means of destruction. Yes. Honor MTN NX1, please unmute and ask.
Pranam, Pranam Swamiji, this is Shilpa Joshi here. Swamiji, last time we talked about pure intellect. Can we say pure intellect is same as Viveka Buddhi?
One expression is that. Viveka is one expression of that pure intellect. Sukshma Vivek when we do, Atma Anatma, Nitya Nitya, then yeah, that's an expression of pure intellect.
Thank you, Swamiji. Or another thing is, I'm referring the same book, which is the commentary of Swami Chinmayananda, but I'm not getting that page where you are, 74. There is something else. So, can you just tell me where we are on this?
Don't go by this. I am having Kindle page number, Baba. You have to see the commentary. You have to see the commentary of the first mantra.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Don't go by Kindle page number, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Swamiji.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So somebody else has raised the hand. Okay. Please, all of you, write your name. Your phone numbers are there and some honor and all this is there. So we don't know who you are.
Yes, Swamiji.
कौन है भाई बताइए. You have a question? Okay. Hari Om.